Searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Short dark hair, but those eyes so bright. They look into my soul.
All right, and we are rolling. Welcome back, everyone, for another week of Shenanigans. Kiki and I today are coming to you from opposite coasts, and soon we will be joined by Miss Tamra Judge herself, Real Housewives of Orange County. Just a true icon, which wait until you guys hear her intro. She's going to be like, oh my gosh. But how we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good. This is so weird. You're on a TV screen instead of in person with me.
I know. We're usually hanging out. It's weird to be like across the country.
Yeah, I feel like Hannah and Paige right now. They're doing Giggly Squad from different countries every week. Because Paige was she was in Fiji and now she's in Italy. And so as I'm listening to their podcast, I can't tell that they're not in the same room. I'm like, wow, I thought she was in Fiji. And then it's like you watch it and oh yeah, she's like in a hotel room.
Yeah. I mean, I think as long as you have like good, communication with the person you're doing a pod with, no one will ever know. It's kind of like reality check. Dorinda and I, like oftentimes we're never in the room because I'm in LA, she's in New York, and nobody can ever tell.
Yeah. I feel like this is, though, the first virtual one I've done in a minute since probably like 2020. Pandemic, all I was doing was virtual. And I had it down. And now I'm like, how do I do this? What website? There were so many different things in 2020. It was like FM, this, whatever I was recording on. And it kind of took me back to like my MySpace days where I knew how to do coding. I was so good at coding and all of these things to make my page sparkle and move and GIF this before they were even GIFs. And now I'm like, I can barely change my profile picture. So I'm like, I don't even know how to do virtual anymore, which is why I had to come into the studio. So Josh could do it for me.
I was like, I need to put a background in because I was like, how do I put that blur background? Because this background is terrible where I'm at.
Right.
Yeah.
I needed to do a green screen TikTok for Prenuvo. And my sister was like, just do a selfie video. You're not going to be able to figure out how to do the green screen. And I was like, but when it's like the talking head, she's like, yeah, but you don't do those. And I was like, you're right. It's actually more for my audience to just do a selfie video and overlay it with some videos and whatever. But anyways, what are you doing out in New York?
One of my good friends, she's traveling through Europe right now. And she was like, my apartment's available if you want it. And obviously, like I have the luxury of doing my show pretty much anywhere they have a serious studio. So I was kind of like, you know what? I'd like to spend some summertime in New York. And, I was like, let me come out.
I love that. I know I'm excited to start book tour there and then to end it in Philly, but we're going to go to New York for the weekend. I've never gotten in my life so much time in New York in good weather. And so to be able to have Summer with me at the end of book tour and to take her to Central Park and do a pedicab, and it'll just be so nice. I'm always there in the winter when we're usually on air. So this has been a nice change.
And I've been binge watching Gilded Age for the last 2 days. I hadn't watched that show. And now being in New York, I'm like, oh, I kind of want to go to the Upper East Side, which I never go to the Upper East Side, and just like, look around.
I think that's what Stassi's watching right now. I saw something on her story and it was a show I hadn't seen, but I swear it was that one. Wait, is Dorinda back from Scotland?
This will be the first time our show today is the first time I've seen her since she's gotten back. So yeah, she called me. I was walking around Union Square yesterday. She called me. And of course I was like, asking for stuff. I can't say anything, obviously, but I was just kind of like, I love to hear it.
You can give just a little.
All I can say is it's going to be really, really fun to watch because we have Lisa Rinna on there.
Yes.
And it's going to be good content for just watching. It's going to be so fun.
I am so excited. Oh, so good. Wait, she was gone for a while, right?
A month, yeah.
Dang. Okay. Well, I mean, at least that means she lasted longer than last season, murdered right out of the gate. That was so not cool. Sacrificed and they just killed her.
I know.
But at least she got another chance. So
yeah.
Exciting. All right. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Tamra will be joining us shortly. And I do want to get into this more with her. But did you know that she is the most seasoned Real Housewife? I just saw that this weekend.
Yeah, I just saw the stats. She's been on longer than Teresa, longer than Kyle, longer than Candy.
Yeah. So she's appeared on 15 seasons now, and everyone else is at 14. So that puts her to the top. And I mean, it could have been even more, but she hasn't been on every single season. So
I know you have to wonder, like, getting put on pause or whatever,
Right.
how that, like, because you're like, I could have had like, 17 or whatever it would have been.
Seriously. I know. I mean, Kyle's on her way. Is she the only housewife who's been in every single season, right?
That's the only one I know of.
I mean, other than like Salt Lake and the ones that are
Yeah,
newer, but
yeah.
out of the OGs, I feel
Yeah.
like Kyle's the only one who's been in every season. Good
Yeah.
for her. I saw something else. I don't know if it was on Instagram last night or just Brock gossiping something he heard, but said there's something going around that's saying Kyle is like a secret producer on Housewives.
So what happened was Brandy Glanville, I don't know if this was on a live or a video
Okay, that's
she
what it
did.
was.
And yeah, she was talking about basically how she believes that Kyle Richards is a producer. Again, no confirmation. It's just Brandy, which I
Right.
love Brandy, whatever. But I mean, I don't know, where she's getting this.
Yeah. How do we think Brandy feels after the excerpt coming out this past week? I haven't heard from her, so I'm like, that's a good thing.
I feel like you're going to hear something about it. I feel like her reactions come later, whether it's on a pod or
Shit.
something.
I know, right? I do still want to podcast with her. Her and I have talked about doing a swap for so long. I don't even know if she's still doing her podcast, but maybe this is finally the time.
I think it's the perfect time. I mean, I think I would love to hear her perspective now, obviously knowing everything that's going on and plus reading your book and seeing all that. I would love to hear that.
Yeah. Anyway, I mean, it is crazy for Tamra to be in this space for so long as so many other housewives. So I was thinking if there was a reality TV Mount Rushmore, she would definitely need to go up there because she's iconic. But who else would you put on a reality TV Mount Rushmore?
Okay, yeah. I mean, Tamra was obviously, I mean, I think Orange County was the first, even though she wasn't there from the beginning, but she feels like she's an OG,
Yeah.
right? Nene Leakes, I think, obviously has to
Yes.
go on that for sure.
Kim Kardashian.
Kim Kardashian. Oh, we're talking all reality. Sorry. That was just
All
in the Bravo
reality,
world.
not just Bravo. Not a Bravo, like a
okay.
reality TV. Like
Oh.
when you think of like Snooki, like people who are
Yes.
just reality TV icons, I feel like eventually Taylor Frankie Paul is going to be there too. Like she is a star and there is just something so authentic, so vulnerable about her that like I see her on like a Snooki level.
I say
Eventually.
that. I think when you go into Jersey Shore, I feel like DJ Pauly D, just because he's kind of survived.
He's iconic.
He's just done so much, and he's so rich now. And I know
Yeah.
this might be controversial, but either or both Flavor Flav or Bret Michaels, because Flavor of Love and Rock of Love
Yes.
are like iconic shows, and we're never gonna get that in a bottle ever again. And
No. And then even if you go to like the MTV Real World, Road Rules, the challenge of it all, like The Miz, what he's
Yes.
done. I mean, it's like the 1% who can break out of the bubble that they were known as. Like Jamie
Yeah.
Chung was on San Diego Real World or whatever. Now she's a huge actress. Like there is that 1% of people who break out, but I feel like The Miz, I mean, he really did it too.
Yeah. And I'm not kissing your ass, Scheana, but I think you might need to be up there too. I mean, you really
Oh my
did.
gosh,
We're
thank
the reason for
you.
why Vanderpump
You
exists.
said
So
it.
I feel like you need to go up there.
I feel like people still need to be reminded of that sometimes, hopefully when the book comes out, they remember. Because I've seen comments recently and they're like, you should be so thankful to Lisa every single day. If it wasn't for Lisa, you wouldn't be where you are. And I'm like, well, if it wasn't for me, Lisa's show might not have gone where it did. So kind of goes both ways.
Exactly.
But anyway, so I'm going to take a quick little break, let her in, and then we'll be right back. So if you guys are like me and you don't like leaving your house to have to go shopping for clothes, then you should be shopping on Revolve. I love online shopping. I am really not big on going to the mall unless it is the holidays. So whether it's a date night, a look for an interview, something on camera, or just, I want to look cute, Revolve has something for everyone. If you're going on vacation, they have so many cute brands like Lovers and Friends, Super Down, I am obsessed with. I just got the cutest little sequin dress. For Love of Lemons, Free People. I mean, the list goes on because they literally have over 1,200 brands and 100,000 styles across
high-end, emerging, and exclusive labels in fashion, beauty, and home goods. I have gotten so many cute fits for festivals, girls' night out. I mean, I am literally obsessed with Revolve. And from last minute getaways to party dressing and seasonal upgrades, Revolve has you covered with fast 2-day shipping and easy returns all on them. And for a limited time, you can shop a curated selection of my favorite styles at revolve.com/goodasgold and receive 15% off your first order with code goodasgold. That's revolve.com/goodasgold to shop my top picks and get 15% off your first order with code goodasgold. Offer ends August 1st, so don't miss out.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh, look at you with the good lighting and background. Looking good.
I have like
Oh,
4 podcasts after this, so
yeah, I know. You crush it. I love to see it. Always
thank
working
you.
hard.
I am working my ass off over here.
Yes.
I leave for New York in the morning. So you know how that goes right before you have
Yeah.
to take off all the shit. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
probably should have got my nails done.
Oh, totally. I feel you. Thank you for
Wait,
the
are you
reminder.
going to be on Watch What Happens Live?
Yes.
Okay, I think I'm going to be in the audience that day.
Oh, yay.
On Thursday?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, before we get into too much, I have an iconic intro for you.
Okay.
So we're going to have to do that, but we can keep in our little small talk. So we have an absolute icon joining us today. She is the unfiltered, unapologetic tequila slinging queen of Orange County, a woman who puts the real in Real Housewife and the voice behind the viral Who Said That sound on TikTok. She's the host and co-creator of the 2 T's in a Pod podcast, Extended Universe, and has been serving abs for decades. Please welcome the one and only, the cut fitness boss babe herself, Tamra Judge. How we doing?
Oh my God. Keep going. That was great.
Yeah, I was like, hold on, stop talking. We're getting good stuff, but I have an intro ready for you.
My God. Yeah. Oh my God.
So how was
Thank
your
you.
holiday weekend? How we doing?
It was great. Well, it was kind of great. I had diverticulitis and I had a flare up. And so,
Oh, no.
yeah. So I was in the doctor's office. I had a blood work, CT scan, on antibiotics,
Jeez.
shit in my pants. It was great.
Well, you don't look it. You look fantastic.
was
So
great.
whatever you did, it's working.
Well, I wasn't able to eat. So I was on a liquid diet. So I'm like, okay, I'm feeling extra thin right now.
Oh,
But
no.
thank God, it was horrible, but I'm over it. But had a great time in Big Bear. My mom came and visited for a couple days and just kicked back. I love it up there.
that. I love Big Bear. I grew up going there my whole life. My grandparents, we used to have a cabin out there, and then my ex-boyfriend had one. It's always just kind of been in the family, but
Yeah, it's
what
cool because it's
I
like
love it.
chill.
Yeah. What
Chill.
made you guys decide to put down some roots there?
Same. We would go every year for like the past 10 years, take the kids there. We'd get a big cabin, take the whole family there. And I've been wanting for years to get a place there. And Eddie's like, no, he's like one of those, I don't really believe in second homes. I want to just travel the world. I don't want to have to go back to the same place all the time.
What?
You know? I know. And
We love a second home.
I know, right? And then we got it. And now he's like, I want to move here. Can we move
Yeah.
here? And I'm like, no, not
Mhm.
I'm not yet. Maybe in about 5 years. Maybe,
Yeah.
but not right now. No.
That's one thing I was just saying about Summer. I need her to grow up a little bit the same that I did, where we go out on the lake every summer and have her on a boat and just getting used to that at a young age.
Yeah.
Because that was such a huge part of my childhood. Every summer, lakes, rivers, wherever it was, we were always on a boat. So I
That's
love
how
that.
I was too. I was
Yeah.
we grew up in Havasu in the summertime.
Same.
Yep.
Exactly.
It was great.
Yep.
Dirt biking,
Love
all that
it.
fun stuff. All that white trash stuff over here.
We love it.
Look, I love those activities. Every time I go to Louisiana, I'm the first one that is booking the swamp tour. I love that.
Really?
I
Yes,
love it.
I've been on a couple swamp tours myself. It's fun. It's really fun.
I saw all the guys, I think, did that when we filmed in, was it New Orleans, or we went somewhere, and I think it was, yeah, in New Orleans. They all filmed that, but the girls didn't get to do that. So I'll
It
take
seems
Summer on
like
one of those.
everybody's filming in New Orleans these days.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did. The Mormon wives did. You guys did. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and there's always tears in New Orleans from what I've seen. So wait, have you guys officially met before?
No, this is
No.
actually the first time we've
Oh.
ever met like ever.
Ever. And then,
Okay.
then you're going to be at Watch What Happens Live when I'm there.
Yeah, I'm going to I want to go sit in the audience and yeah, because I think John Hill is bartending.
He
and
is.
so,
Yeah, he reached out to
Oh,
me.
fun.
And I think I'm on with Steven from the McBee Dynasty.
Oh,
okay.
Dynasty. Yeah.
He was just on Reality Checked. He's awesome. Yeah.
He seems really nice. He sent me a few DMs. He's like, I'm so excited to meet you. And I'm like, oh. And he's
Love
not bad on the eyes either.
Well, I know there's been some back and forth between you two in the past, which may or may not have come from this podcast. Can't recall.
Probably.
But if I recall correctly, someone said something on Reality Checked about Tamra, and then Tamra reached out to Kiki to say that she didn't appreciate it and flagged it to Andy.
No,
Kiki
I actually called him. I'm like,
Okay.
who's doing this? Like, this is horrible. But go
And
ahead.
Kiki's like, please don't get me fired.
No.
No, but I felt like the internet kind of ran with the narrative that Tamra was trying to get Kiki fired.
Right.
So to what was it? It was, well, I guess, let's just say in, the words of Andy Cohen, can we squash the beef?
Oh.
Is there beef?
No, I don't see any beef. I was literally like, last year was devastating. You know, when you have a really bad year and you're just getting annihilated. And nowadays, like with social media, like it's horrible. Like it is just horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, finally, like in my car, you're not thinking about it. And I turn on your show and then it was like Alexis, this caller was so horrible. Alexis was a whore. Something about me being a mom. And I'm like, I just draw the line. Like, don't do that. And so I was just like, Andy, like what is going on here? Is this okay? And he's like, no, that's not okay. And then I reached out to Kiki. I'm like, because I didn't think it was you.
Right.
I didn't know. I thought that you were the only host. I'm like, you didn't do that. Like, no. But it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, now obviously it's just Dorinda and I hosting. But at the time, there was a revolving. They were trying to figure out who was going to be host, and so it was a different host that day. And I happened to. I was at like the Tom Girardi trial, which was so funny. And I was coming out of the trial, and she was like, "Are you on the air today?" I was like, "No, I'm coming out of the Tom Girardi trial." And yeah, I mean, obviously, I was just like, I don't know what happened. And then we talked about it on Shenanigans, and I turned it into like, she talked to Andy, and I was like, I hope I'm not going to get fired. And then of course the internet ran with it. It was like, Tamra's trying to get Kiki's fired.
And you said that to me too. It wasn't like you didn't say, you said it to my face. You're like, I'm like, no, girl, I'm not trying to do that. I'm just like, and it wasn't really the host. It was the caller, but the host wasn't shutting it down. The host was like engaging in it. And I'm like, okay, that's not cool. Like if somebody came on my podcast, started calling a cast member a whore and, all these things, I'd be like, hey, you know what, back up.
Totally. There's a line.
And we just don't cross that. We're all
so
family
beef
here.
Squash. Yes. No beef.
So no beef.
Yes.
No, not at all.
Love it.
No, we actually have a little bond.
Now, I mean, you may not be able to answer this, but will beef ever be squashed between you and Gretchen?
You know what? I really went into this season trying to move forward with her. And this girl is so stuck in the past. I mean, it's been 12 years since she's been on the show, and she just wanted to go over all the things of the past. I'm like, the first thing I said to her is like, I don't want to dwell on the past. Yes, we didn't get along. Yes, things were said both ways. Let's move forward. Let's find something else to argue about. Let's move forward. Like, girl, I can't remember what I did last week. You want me to think about 12, 15 years ago? It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Move forward. And I'm not that person. Like, I get over things so easy. Like, somebody can piss me off and do whatever, and I can move forward. Like, this girl for the past 12 years being off the show repeatedly was doing things to me. Stories constantly, stories on her own Instagram. I'm like, I don't even know you. Like, if somebody would ask me about her, I'd be like, I haven't seen her in 12 years.
Yeah.
People change, people move forward. She's a mom now. Like, but no.
Well, one thing I will say, though, that I do love and appreciate about you, I mean, obviously Gretchen and I have been friends forever, but the Gretchen aside, like when it comes to like a Jessie Lawley or Michelle or Janet or something, I appreciate that you and I have been able to have real conversations as friends where I'm like, hey, I heard you said this on your podcast and I just want to give you a little more context. So I just wanted to point out that I really appreciate that about you, because I felt like when we were talking about Jesse and Michelle, you really heard what I had to say.
For sure.
And I understand when you guys are recapping episodes, you're just doing your job. You're basing it off the edit and what you see. But I'm like, okay, so Tamra, as my friend, I would like to tell you a little more about my friend Michelle. And I just really appreciate that about you.
Because I don't know her. And you know how it is. You're viewing somebody, and it's edited. Let's be honest. Like they don't put words in your mouth, but it's not always as balanced as you would like it to be, for obvious reasons. So I don't know her at all.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what she was going through, which makes a huge difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Giant difference.
Well, more to come on the Valley this season, and I cannot wait for the new season of Housewives. But before we get too deep into all of the things, I did want to do a little superlatives game to just kind of like break the ice and just have you, maybe throw some shade or some flowers to your castmates.
Great.
Who would you say is the most punctual?
Oh, most punctual. Well, it's not Shannon. So let's do a process of elimination here. I tend to be very punctual.
Okay.
Punctual. I can't even say the word. Heather is, even though she comes from LA. I think most of the cast is very respectful to the crew.
That's good.
Because it really, and to everybody else as well as the cast. Like if you're sitting there waiting, Shannon's usually one that's always late. It's actually an issue this season on the show.
Okay. Stay tuned. Who has the most enviable wardrobe?
Oh, definitely Heather Dubrow has all those brand name labels that I don't wear, that I would never spend the money on. I'm too cheap.
Same. I'm the same way. I got a closet full of Amazon and
I mean, I'll stick with my Zara and Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm cool. I got no one to impress.
Yes. Who would you say is the most improved from the beginning of the season to the end?
Oh, wow. From the beginning to the end.
And you can say yourself for any of these too.
Let's see. Who's the most improved? I think that Jen has improved. She's kind of found her voice more. And I think that she's, evolving into a better housewife.
Okay.
I would probably say her, because before she was kind of timid, wouldn't really say much. I mean, most of her attacks are towards me, but I'm okay with that.
You're like, I can take it.
I can take it. I'm good with it.
Who would you say is the biggest chameleon for the cameras? Like, who changes the most when the cameras are up?
Oh, Shannon, for sure.
She's
She's a totally different person in real life.
See, and yeah, that's the thing. It's like when I've known you guys for so many years, just as friends, as fellow Bravo Lebs at events and whatnot, dinners, I don't film with you. So it's like, I don't see the side that you see. I'm like, I'm friends with everyone. They're not my cast members.
Right. No, it's
so
true.
yeah, I don't see that side. Interesting.
Yeah, it's hard when you, like when you say like Gretchen, like, will you like, or things, you don't see the side that I see. And I don't film with, people that are on your cast and all that. So it's hard, filming with somebody and then being friendly with them, not filming, two different things. Two different
things. I know. I've got you and Gretchen. I've got Teresa and Melissa. And I'm like, I'm friends with everyone. They've never done anything to me. They're not on my
exactly.
show.
I judge people how they treat me, not how, you know. So if somebody says, oh, they're horrible, I'm like, okay, I'll figure it out by myself.
Exactly. Who would you say is the best hostess?
Oh, Heather Dubrow.
Yeah. I want to go to one of her events.
Yeah.
Those look iconic. Who is the most athletic?
Probably myself.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
What about the peacemaker of the group?
Peacemaker.
Like none. That's why we have a show.
I think, Heather's always a good peacemaker, but I do think that Emily tried to do some peacemaking as well this season.
Okay. Who is the most talkative to bloggers?
Katie.
Best one-liners.
Best one-liners. I think that besides myself, I would say Emily's got some pretty good one-liners. She's really, because she's super smart and witty.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Her confessionals scare me.
Yeah. Who's the best at throwing shade?
Oh, myself.
Yep.
Definitely.
Best glam squad.
Best glam squad. Oh, that's a good one. I think everybody looks lovely on the show. Everyone looks
Yeah.
beautiful. I love my glam squad. I think they're amazing. I've never used anybody else's, but definitely I love my girls.
So on
Chelsea,
Atlanta
Michelle.
this season, you know, you see the like sharing of teams or stealing
Oh,
of
no,
the
I don't like
glam
that.
squad and all of that. Is there anyone on your cast where you guys do share a team at all?
Okay, so I've always in the past been very like, if somebody doesn't have, so a new girl comes in, they don't have anybody. I'm like, oh, use my people, use my people. And then it became a problem like years ago. Shannon was using my girls. And production's like, you have to get your own. It's kind of a conflict of interest. And it's
Yeah.
also sometimes people talk and then tell the
Mhm.
other person what something that went down and all this. So it's just best overall just to use your own glam. It's not that difficult. There's hundreds of talented, thousands of talented people out there that
Yeah.
love the work. Just give it to them.
Totally. Who is the most likely to leave and never come back?
Oh, that was me 100 times this season.
I saw. I reached out to you. I saw your post and I was like, "Are you good?"
It was a really tough season.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
For sure.
And
So-
especially following from last season, you know, I mean, we talked about it at Crystal's dinner. I was like, "How are you?" And you're like, "Well, not my best season." I'm like, I've
yeah,
seen, so.
yeah. I mean, it's really difficult, and
Yeah.
you get beaten up so badly these days by social media
Mhm.
to the point where it's almost criminal, like the things that are being said, and
Right.
like poor Janet with death threats and things like that.
It's
just
so
there
bad.
needs to be laws with.
I know. There's no repercussions for these people. They can go threaten death, say all of these things, and just go on with their life. Like,
Right.
like no big deal.
Kiki, can you help us with that? Can we go march to Capitol Hill, or where do you go
Yeah.
to change these laws?
No,
That's
I was actually
seriously.
talking to Christina Ariel, who, comes on
Yeah.
Scheana's show often. And she was talking about how I believe like in Disney World, like they actually have some sort of company that protects their cast members
Interesting.
against this sort of hate. And so, I think maybe that needs to be like, looked at in the future, because I think it's just gotten
Yeah.
beyond out of control. And it's like, I don't even like to, even if I want to criticize, I feel bad because I feel like I'm feeding into the hate. And I'm like, how do you criticize without people leaning so far
Right.
into hate?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I try my hardest, just because I've been on the other end of it. Like, don't go and comment, even if somebody does something so shitty.
It's so crazy. And because like when we started the show, for you, there was no Instagram. When I started, it was just coming around the first season. There was
Yeah.
Twitter, but it's like we
It
got
was
to enter.
MySpace.
Yes, it was MySpace, it was Facebook, and then
Yeah.
there was like the Vine and the Twitter of it all.
Yeah.
But Instagram wasn't as big when we started our show, whereas now all of these people coming into reality TV, I mean, from the second that first episode airs, it's everywhere. And there's no way to really ease into it or to prepare you for it.
I mean, when we have a president that gets on Twitter and social media and says horrible things about people, what is that saying to our youth? What is that
Right.
saying to the people like, oh, well, if he's doing it, it's okay to do it. It's not
Right.
okay to do it.
No, it's not okay at
And I
all.
might be eaten alive for saying that, but it's the absolute truth.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Before we move on, I have one last one. Who is the MVP of the season?
Oh, I don't know. You
Guess
know what?
we'll
I really
to watch
don't
and see.
know. I don't know.
Okay.
There were so many ups and downs and so many different things with different people.
Yeah.
You never know until you actually watch it, because you don't know
Mhm.
what you're filming. Gina did an amazing job this year for sure. She's really stepped it up. And I mean, I'm going to say Gina.
Okay. Love it. We're going to take one more quick little break and we'll be right back.
And another thing I like to do from the comfort of my own home is therapy. I love to just be able to sit in whatever room and do therapy without having to fight traffic, especially in LA, do the whole in-person thing. I've done it for EMDR and I absolutely love that, but I love being able to do talk therapy from home. And that's why I love Rula. Okay, telehealth has made mental health care more convenient and accessible for not just myself, but millions of people. However, critical challenges like finding a suitable therapist, scheduling appointments, and the expensive out-of-pocket cost It keeps so many people from getting the help they need. I talk to people all the time and I'm like, have you been in therapy? And they say, no, I can't afford it. My insurance doesn't cover it. That's what's so great about Rula. They are on a mission to make high quality mental health care from a licensed professional easy and affordable for everyone. Rula's got you covered. They take most major insurance plans, and the average copay is only $15 per session. So you can now get the quality care that you need, that you deserve when you need it at a price you can afford. With Rula, you can find the right therapist for you. Thousands have already trusted Rula to support them on their journey toward improved mental health and overall well-being. So head on over to rula.com/goodasgold and get started today. After you sign up, they will ask where you heard about them. Please support my show and tell them that my show sent you. Go to rula.com/goodasgold and take the first step toward better mental health today. You deserve quality care from someone who cares.
Okay, so moving on to an important topic, which is mental health. We'd love to see that you're getting to explore that more this season.
Yeah.
I know it takes a very vulnerable person to share that on camera, but it is so important. I think it helps so many people. So how is that journey going for you?
It's a journey, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And, I come from the era of, don't cry unless I give you something to cry about, and things like that. Just swept everything under the rug, never really talked about anything. I grew up very much, don't be a victim. Don't act like a victim. Don't be a victim. Shit happens. Life's tough. Get over it. So for me, probably grew up really tough and didn't talk about things and not a lot of communication with, my family, my mom and my dad. So having to go through therapy, it's a struggle for me because I start to feel like, oh, am I a victim? Like, do I have trauma? And I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm good. So it was very emotional. Months of going through therapy once a week at 4 o'clock on a Monday, and there's obviously good that comes out of it, but there's been times where I'm like, why am I doing this? I feel like I'm more depressed than I've ever been in my life. I'm digging up shit that I didn't want to dig up or talk about or think about, or revisit. And, it's a process, but at the end of the day, it's teaching me to deal with my emotions. I've never been able to deal with my emotions. When things get really hard for me, I want to die. If everything, like, that's my end game. Like, I don't want to be here. I just want to, I can't process them. I have very bad, and we talked about this once, very bad intrusive thoughts that, every single day. And I have to tell myself, okay, let's think of 3 happy things right now so I can get this out of my head. Eddie goes out on his Harley and goes for a ride. And if he's not home by that time, or even if he's out, this brain of mine.
Yeah. I feel you.
Been an accident
every day.
I'm planning his funeral. I'm like, who's going to be there? How am I going to deal? What am I going to do with the big bear? How, like, my mind goes to places like, I'm like, what is wrong with me?
Yeah. It's not that anything's wrong with you. It's just how our brains are wired. I was thinking about the other day, the dress that I wore to a wedding ceremony. I was like, oh, this would be a good dress to wear to a funeral and I'm just like, why am I thinking about a funeral? It's just like my brain goes to death daily, and it's better now being medicated. I am in therapy, but it is just like an immediate way that my brain goes, and I hate it.
Yeah, it's talked about this season where the therapist wants me to go on medication, and I struggle with going on medication. I haven't yet. But
it took me a long time to get back on it as well. I was like, no, I want to try every other way first. And then I was like, I don't want more than 25 milligrams. And the doctor's like, it's kind of more of a placebo effect at that point. Like, it's not really going to do anything. Then I'm like, okay, fine, 50, 75. Now I'm at 100. And I'm like, oh, I see why they wanted to up the meds. It definitely does help. But it took me just finally saying, okay, you know what? I've tried this on my own. I've tried every other way that I can. Maybe I do just need to be on an SSRI. Maybe that will actually help. And for me, it has.
I might get there. I might get there. Besides that, I have extreme intestinal problems, really, really bad, in the hospital, out of the hospital, surgeries. And so when I did go on like, I think I went on Wellbutrin years, probably
Yeah,
15
I was
years
on that
ago.
too before.
And
Mhm.
that actually helped my stomach. So it just goes to show that
Oh,
stress was, can kill you.
yeah.
Going
Wow.
into
Interesting.
filming the season, not only being in therapy, but 1 week into filming is when me and Teddy got back from New Orleans and she got
Mhm.
diagnosed with brain cancer. So
Yeah.
I'm not good at processing emotions
Yeah.
and
No, it's
just being
hard.
so, so sad and having to film
Yeah.
the show. It was a very difficult season for me.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I don't want to mischaracterize, so please correct me. But
Yeah.
I know that you had revealed that you met some metrics for the autism spectrum.
Yeah.
And now that you're further along in your journey, have you gotten any more insight there, like what you've learned about yourself in this process?
So basically, I think it's on the first episode, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
that, one of my therapy appointments, I was talking about, I have a ton of like sensory issues. And so we were talking about that and everything else that's going on in this brain, all this stuff. And she says, you sound like you're on the spectrum and I'm like, what? And she's like, just be advised, like the spectrum is broad, da, 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 and this and that. And
Mhm.
so the therapy session went from that to going into some really deep shit about my daughter. So
Yeah.
when I left, I was hysterically crying. I had a podcast. I had 15 minutes to drive from Mission Viejo to my house to jump on the podcast. And Teddy knew that I was clearly upset. And I misspoke when I said that I was diagnosed. I was not diagnosed.
Yeah.
She said she thinks. And to this day, I have not yet gone to have all the testing done.
Mm-hmm.
I have not done it because she told me, she goes, you can go, you can do all this testing. She goes, but at the end of the day, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to go on medication? You're learning the tools that you need with me right now.
Right.
But, it was very hurtful for me to I'm not an open book like that. Like when it comes to
Yeah.
my emotions, I don't talk about that. And then I go and talk about it and then I get destroyed and made fun of. Gretchen was one of them, like making, like as if I made it up
Right.
for why would I
Yeah,
make that
we
up?
see that
Yeah,
in the
you
episode,
misspoke.
like
Totally.
where, yeah, I mean, the social media went crazy on you. And then it's kind of like, well, do I want to open up again in the future? Because like when I do and I
Yeah.
apologize for it, it's like I get no forgiveness, I get no grace.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, and
people
I
are
feel like
just mean. Like, oh, she's
Yeah.
lying. I'm like, what am I gonna get out of lying?
Right.
Oh, this is an insult to people. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, Jesus, that is not my intent at all. So it
Yeah.
was, it does. And like you said, Kiki, I don't want to open up now about certain things because that's what's gonna happen.
And that's frustrating because it's like you came out and, you said that you misspoke, but it's like, I feel like you were finally getting answers to some of the things you've been silently struggling with for years. And that was a relief. And you wanted to put it out there like, oh my gosh, I know like this is what might be wrong with me. And then it's like, okay, you said it in the wrong way. But the way that just with like online vitriol and the way that people attack so hard, you're like, sorry, I misspoke. Okay, let me clear that up. But it's like,
Yeah.
I commend you for being vulnerable about that because it's not easy to open up about things like this.
It was really, really hard, and now I'm like, geez, now do I have to go get more testing done for this? Because you have to go to a psychiatrist to go get all this testing done. Should I go do that so I can just prove to people? Like, what? No, I'm not, it's just, it's just so annoying.
Yeah.
So,
No, totally. Well, to switch topics, I wanted to ask if you can set the record straight once and for all. Are you, in fact, the owner of Reality Blurb?
no, no.
How did this rumor get started?
Oh my God. So let me think about this. There was this content creator, I don't even want to call her a blogger, that put out this like fake certificate showing that I don't even know where she got it from, some like crazy website saying that I owned Reality Blurb. And I'm like, what the hell? So I called my attorney and I'm like, is that like, I'm being accused of this? And he's like, well, it's slander. And so I said, okay. And I'm like, last thing I want, we're coming off the hills of Monica being fired from, her show because of the fact that she was running or allegedly running some kind of, blogger account. I'm like, this isn't cool. This is not cool at all. And so I, had to have a few words with the person that put it out there. And I reached out to Reality Blurb as well. I'm like, this is being said. And they're like, this isn't okay.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, there was more of these certificates coming out saying that I was the owner of, I don't know, Burger King. All these weird shit that I was the owner of Shannon something. And I'm like, what the hell? And it was some shady website that was
Interesting.
like, you shouldn't even go on. It's one of those that can steal your shit. So
Yeah.
I was just like, what? And this is all last year. And I'm like, every time I turned around, I was getting hit with something else.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah, and
just
all of this comes up in episode 1, and it's kind of crazy because I think people know me as like, I'm not one of those people that spreads rumors. I'm very much like I talk about actual things, facts, like I verify sources, at least 2, like that is how I proceed. And it came to me about trying to spread this rumor about how you own this website. And I literally like had to go and like find screenshots. And I was like, literally the editor-in-chief of this is a Black woman. It is not her. And they kept trying to, and they were still trying to convince me. They were like, but no, Tamra's assistant lives here. And this is where the website's from. And if you connect, and I said, it's not, I had to keep going back. It's not her. This is not a reliable source. And I was like, but I was trying to be convinced to spread this. It was insane.
I can only imagine who was trying to push you to do that.
Huh. Who could that be?
It's the same person probably that's saying they're throwing a viewing party and they're going to be the star of this first episode. I'm like, sweetie, just wait till you see.
I mean, it seems like Katie gets in the mix with a lot of these content creators, you know?
Yeah.
Also, like, even Emily's nanny, and there was that whole thing.
Yeah, there is some things that definitely go down. I can't really give it away, but there is, and you'll see.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see what happens.
We'll see. I do want to ask, you mentioned Teddy earlier, and obviously, I check in with you often. She's been in all of our thoughts and prayers the past few months. So from the last I heard, she was responding well to therapies. Is that still the case?
Yeah, she's on immunotherapy and she is responding well to the immunotherapy.
Good.
She's still, and she said it, she's still stage 4.
Yeah.
And it's last time she talked about it. I don't want to say anything that she hasn't said herself,
Totally.
but she will remain on immunotherapy every 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's stopping the tumors from spreading.
Good.
And she's so strong, and
she really is
so positive. Like if that was me, I would be planning my funeral. I would be writing letters to my kids. You know what I mean? I would be like, I'm done. And I think that part of, healing and being, just being positive like that, just have that positive feeling. And I just look up to her, if I don't want to work out because I'm too tired, here she is doing immunotherapy, radiation, brain tumors in her lungs. And she's getting up and doing anything and everything. She says, even if I can get up and go on the treadmill for 5 minutes and that's all I can do, that's what I'm going to do.
And that's more than a lot of people are doing. So it is extremely inspiring just watching her stories, and just seeing everything she's going through, and she still shows up. She's a mom. And I just, wanted to ask.
She still has this sense of humor. Like I slid into her DMs because she was saying how she like got rejected from or waitlisted for Raya. And I was like, so did I. She's like, can you believe they waitlisted me? Like, really? You can't just give me that. And I was like, right? So rude.
I know. She's got her humor is still there. She's got good days. She's got bad days. It's all to be expected. I was so happy she was able to go to her dad's house for the 4th of July. I think it's really the first time she's traveled on a plane.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe she did a horse show once, but just to be with her family, because, all her family lives out of state.
Yeah.
So she's surrounded by a lot of great friends, but all of her family's,
totally
out of state. So
I'm glad she has good friends like you in her life. She's
got a ton of good friends, really great girls.
Yeah. Absolutely. And just keeping a positive outlook, that obviously does so much.
Yes.
So do you think, with Teddy, I mean, obviously, we're all following her story online. Do you think, obviously, I'm sure it's the last thing on her mind right now, that it is something we would ever see on either OC Housewives or Beverly Hills Housewives?
I would love for her to be on Orange County, and I know that she would love to be on Orange County as well. I don't know if right now is the time,
Yeah.
you know. She she gets tired easy, and
Yeah.
I don't think it's her priority. I
Yeah.
think if this season maybe she gets invited to go, somewhere with Kyle, like, she's so close with Kyle, and I love to see
Mm-hmm.
them together, and I know that Teddy would love to be on either
Yeah.
show. So I don't know if it works for her, and she has it in her, then more power to her. I've seen
Yeah.
so many people like say things in comments, like, because there was a big rumor saying she was cast for the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, girl, do you have something you want to tell me? She's like,
Yeah.
no. I'm like, come on, tell me. Then I even try to trick like Alex Baskin. I'm like, so have you talked to Teddy lately?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, no, I haven't. I owe her a call like that. I'm
You're like, oh,
I'm
okay,
like,
it's not
okay, if
true.
Alex isn't talking to her, then she
Right.
ain't lying to me.
No,
But I
totally.
hope to see her film with
Yeah.
Kyle this season. I think that would be great. I think that the viewers would love to see her.
Yeah, I
So,
think so
and
too.
see how she's doing. Yeah, it'd be tricky, but it would be great.
Yeah. Well, I know she is so thankful for having someone like you in her life. So just thank
Aw.
you for being there for her and for gracing us again with another season. We just had episode 1 this week. Can't wait to see where it goes.
Oh,
And you are an icon. You always have been. I love you. Thank you for
I love
getting
you
into some
both.
shenanigans with
And
us.
I do want to say thank you so much for reaching out.
Yeah. Always. I'm always here, and I'm in
Yeah.
LA. I'm close. I don't live that far from her.
Yeah.
So if she ever
Yeah.
needs anything, I'm here.
So kind. You're one person that consistently reached out to me to see how Teddy was doing while she was in
And
the
I will
hospital. And
continue.
yeah, and I appreciate that. And so
Yeah.
does she.
Good.
So thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Tamra, and can't wait to see the rest of the season.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Okay.
Bye. All right. Well, thank you to Tamra and Kiki for joining me this week. But on a more serious note, there's a huge flood in Texas that happened this week, and it is just completely heartbreaking. Flash floods hit the hill country really, really hard over this weekend. The area just west of Austin, San Antonio. I have friends in that area who I've been speaking to. The Guadalupe River surged up to 26 feet in under an hour. Like it happened so quickly. And watching these videos, I mean, just sweeping away cabins, cars, and entire camps. I mean, the death toll has climbed past 60, including 28 children, and at least 10 girls from Camp Mystic are still missing. Their parents are literally just pacing the riverbanks, praying and refusing to stop searching. And I would be doing the exact same thing. It is absolutely heartbreaking. My friend Christy lives in Austin with her husband and 2 little girls, and I've been following her post. She had considered sending her kids to that camp and knows many families who did have children there. And I mean, it is just an absolute nightmare. So if you're like me, feeling helpless, here are some ways you can help provide relief. You can donate to the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund or Texas Hill Country fundraisers on GoFundMe. You can support World Central Kitchen and Operation Barbecue Relief, feeding evacuees and rescue crews. Give to the Red Cross. They're offering shelters, supplies, mental health assistance, and reunification services. Also, you can consider local drives for things like diapers, hygiene kits, pet supplies. The Salvation Army and Austin Pets Alive are coordinating donations. You can also volunteer or donate supplies through Texas Search and Rescue and local faith-based groups. So let's just all take a moment to send some love, prayers, and even just, good vibes to those families. I cannot imagine what they are going through. And if you can, please chip in because, as you know, every small donation helps. And even just sharing a verified fundraiser could help a parent find their missing child. So I just wanted to give you guys all of that information. I felt like it was very important to touch on that this week. I will have things posted on my Instagram and links as well in the description of this podcast episode. So to wrap it up, we've got a Jack's Hole of the week. And this week, Attorney General Pam Bondi, who revealed that there is apparently no Epstein client list and they won't be releasing any new info on the Epstein case after promising for months that the list is on her desk and she will release it. So don't know who she's protecting or why. So many questions. But, you know, I don't care who you are, Democrat, Republican, celebrity, billionaire, whatever it is, you know, if you hurt children or anyone for that matter, you need to be exposed and held accountable for your crimes. And thank you guys all for listening. Thank you again to Tamra and Kiki for joining me. And you can watch all new episodes of The Real Housewives of Orange County Thursdays on Bravo, next day on Peacock. Don't forget to tune in to hear more of Kiki's hot takes on SiriusXM's Reality Checked weekdays, live at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And I'm headed on tour this summer. So if you haven't already, pre-order my book, My Good Side. Head to mygoodsidebook.com. Get your tickets today for all of my tour stops. Very excited to see you all, meet you all, and for you guys to read my literal story. So we will be back getting into some more shenanigans next week. Thank you guys all for watching and listening. I'm off to Knott's Berry Farm with my daughter.
Been searching
Bye.
for this all my life because my